Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night's main event is in the books, so now it's time to do a deep dive into the pay-per-view, and I'm going to tell you guys everything I liked and everything I didn't like about the show. I think before we even get into anything about this show, having them rival AEW All In was an absolute travesty, an absolute mistake. There's a weird cynicism in the WWE where everybody thinks that they can beat AEW every week. I'm not exactly sure why WWE chose to do that, and it's also being reported that they're going to keep doing that in the future, which is not a good sign. We had a bunch of really good matches announced for the show, so I was legit excited for it because I knew we were going to get some good stuff. And then on SmackDown, they threw Jelly Roll and Logan Paul in the mix, and it really just threw water on the fire a little bit, I'm not going to lie to you. And we're also going to get into Seth Rollins' injury. His injury took the wind out of the sails of this pay-per-view, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but let's get to the first match. The show opened up with Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton was accompanied to the ring by Jelly Roll, which I did not like one bit. Give Randy that entrance. Why is Jelly Roll there? He could have just popped up in the match. Same thing for Drew McIntyre. Logan Paul was accompanying Drew McIntyre down to the ring, so obviously they're just further planting the seeds for the SummerSlam match. But aside from all of that, these two beasts put on an absolute show. I mean, this took me right back to the original feud in 2020 during the COVID era, where even though there was no fans in the seats, that was goddamn cinema. Logan Paul kept trying to get in there, but he got hit with a pretty fat RKO by Randy Orton. Orton was also able to drop Drew McIntyre with an RKO for the win. And after the match, Logan Paul beat the ass of Randy Orton, but none other than Jelly Roll came and saved him. But my gosh, was that a mistake, because he got a fat Claymore right to the skull. I think it's super weird to me what they're doing with Jelly Roll and Logan Paul. I don't necessarily like the way they're being presented here. I mean, Logan's already established himself. He's kind of earned himself a spot, but Jelly Roll, what are they doing? I'm so sick of this shit. I said this before in a YouTube short, and I'll link it down below. I could name 10 other names that are way more deserving to be in a spot in a match at SummerSlam. And also locking down two of your biggest stars for SummerSlam in a celebrity match that literally means nothing is such a waste, especially after your top guy just got injured. Anyway, that match was pretty good. I did like it. I just hate what they're doing with Jelly and Logan, but I'll still give it a thumbs up. So next we saw Jade Cargill come out, and I kind of thought she was going to cut a promo, but out of the crowd, Naomi hopped out and started beating down on Jade Cargill. After a couple handfuls of security, Nick Aldis then came out and announced that their match at Evolution will have a special guest referee, and that was none other than the returning Bianca Belair. I'm actually really happy that they're planting the seeds for this big 3 triple threat match, because that's what I've been wanting for a long time. If you've been watching this channel, you know that I have talked about this many times. That match, when that happens, I'm assuming at SummerSlam, is going to be cinema. I think it was really smart of them to highlight a match on Evolution at Saturday Night Main Event to kind of parlay some of that excitement into the next day. And if you can't watch Evolution, check out the reactions on my TikTok. So next up, we had the United States Championship match. Solo Sikoa was defending his title against his brother, Jimmy Uso. I really haven't fully invested in what they're doing with the MFT thing and the whole Bloodline Fallout storyline. I'm just not a fan. But I will have to say, this match delivered. It was fantastic. These guys have great chemistry. I think the story they were trying to tell in this match was that Jimmy was a more experienced, more tenured worker than Solo Sikoa, so they were trying to show that he had more experience because Jimmy had a response for everything that Solo threw at him. There was that crazy suplex out of the apron. Jimmy did some crazy corkscrew backflip off the top rope. There was some really cool stuff in this match, but unfortunately, due to an interference from Tala Tonga, to make sure I'm getting that right, that would turn the tides because Solo Sikoa was able to barely retain his title against Jimmy Uso there. So the entire MFT obviously went to attack Jimmy Uso when that big dog Jacob Fatu finally made his return after losing his title and was able to help out his brother and clear the ring. I think the unexpected nature of this match is what made it good. I did not expect this match to be good by any means. I wasn't excited for it. I wasn't invested in the story, but the match they had kind of got me invested. I kind of see now what they're doing with the MFT storyline. Solo Sikoa is actually kind of building some momentum here, and this is the correct way to do it. So now, folks, let's get into the match that took the wind out of the sails of this show, the match that sucked the air out of the arena, the match that made me want to turn off the whole damn thing because I felt so bad and so sad and so terrible. I had a very terrible taste in my mouth after watching what happened here. So the match started as scheduled. They actually had some pretty good momentum building up. These two have some surprising chemistry with each other. A lot of crazy moves. It really started picking up. And then Seth Rollins did one of his signature springboard backflips off the rope into the ring, and LA Knight was going to move out of the way, which did happen. And when LA Knight moved out of the way, Seth Rollins landed a little bit tweaked, and you could see him jump and favor his knee immediately. Now, at a first glance, when I see that at a wrestling show, oh, he's faking it, he's selling, he's holding the knee. But it just went silent in the arena. He sat in the corner conferring with Paul Heyman for a solid minute, conferring with the referees, conferring with LA Knight. You could see the stone cold reaction on LA Knight's face. His face absolutely turned when the referee told him that Seth was injured and he's going to have to go to the finish. Because that is exactly what they did. Seth said that he could continue, which he really couldn't. He got up, LA Knight slammed him with a BFT, and that was it. Once that happened, I knew for sure that this was for real because they would not have Seth Rollins lose clean like that especially after just starting this faction. And to even further drill in the fact that this is a real injury, I saw a video of Seth Rollins leaving the ring and he was extremely angry. Check out that footage right now. And after we moved down to the commercial break, I didn't really think about the implications that this means, but this fucks up everything on Monday Night Raw. When you think about how many pots Seth Rollins had his hands in, setting up tens of feuds for the following year and a half. But now with this unforeseen injury that we still don't know exactly what it is, he might be out for a year and a half. Who knows? It's being reported that Seth Rollins was originally going to win this match, so they did call an audible in the ring. You could just see it all over LA Knight's face. He was swearing, he was pissed. They rushed to the finish. He was visibly disgruntled. Everyone will. You could see it on their faces. They knew that it's not looking good. So I just want to say speedy recovery to Seth Rollins. I really hope this is nothing major, because this would screw up a lot, especially for the build to SummerSlam, even WrestleMania. I'm not sure what the plan is here. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to bounce back from this, if the injury is bad, but I'm going to be reporting on all of that, so stay tuned to this channel and stay tuned to the TikTok. Hopefully it ain't that bad, man. It just really sucks. It slowed down the pay-per-view, and it put a weird precedent into the final match, which we are about to roll into, which was the World Heavyweight Championship match. Goldberg in his final stand, his final match ever in Atlanta, Georgia, against the World Heavyweight Champion himself, the Ring General, Gunther. So obviously we had the hype-ass Goldberg entrance, but this match had to start at some point and the bell rang. There was a serious problem hanging over this match, and that was the fact that the Seth Rollins LA Knight match was obviously supposed to go like 25 minutes. So Gunther and Goldberg had like 40 minutes to fill, 90% of which were covered by ads, which we'll get into in another video. In the match, Goldberg was selling his knee. He had a knee brace on, and I think it was kind of half work, half not, because he was really favoring the knee. He was struggling to get up, but Gunther also ripped off that knee brace and started hitting him with it, so it's kind of 50-50 there. Goldberg was then going to spear Gunther through the barricade, but Gunther was able to move out of the way, and Goldberg went through it himself, which then prompted Gunther to get in a little scuffle with Goldberg's son Gage, where then Gage jumped over the barricade and got swarmed by security back. To which then Goldberg would hit a spear on Gunther in the ring, and when going for another one, he would hit the referee Charles Robinson with a spear. I feel so bad for Lil Nate. The past few weeks, he's just been getting pulverized, man. Hope you're doing well, Lil Nate. This match was extremely slow, and it's because Seth was injured. When I say that injury took the wind out of the sails of this pay-per-view, it did. So they dragged along to the finish of this match, which will be Gunther setting in the chokehold on Goldberg for a solid minute or two until Goldberg finally could not get back up and they rang the bell. A little bit of a so-so loss for the end of his career. I mean, you think it would have been more evenly matched, but no. So what I want to talk about a little bit more is what happened after. Gunther slid out of the ring and went up the ramp, and then they went to commercial, which I thought was kind of weird. I couldn't tell if they were off the air or not, because why would you go to commercial in the last 2 to 3 minutes of a show? It just didn't make any sense. So it was like a solid 5-minute commercial break, and they came back, and Goldberg was in the ring surrounded by all his family and friends. So I'm assuming they did that just to get them all in the ring. And then Goldberg said like 4 words. He said, "Thank you for everything. I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys." And then we got hit with another commercial. Like, what? And it was like a 6-minute commercial, and I kept refreshing my page. It wasn't coming back, and then the pay-per-view ended, and Peacock went to the next show. I was very confused, to say the least. God damn, did this show leave a terrible taste in my mouth. I went to bed last night thinking, god damn, that was just awful. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what the plan was from here either, especially with Seth's injury. It leaves a lot of shit still on the table, and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I really do appreciate Goldberg's work, though. He worked very hard to make this match what it was, and I think it was okay. I also want to thank Goldberg for his 30+ years as the Beast we all know. What a goddamn list of achievements that guy has, so thank you, Goldberg. So I think that is going to wrap up this review. If I had to give it a rating, I would give this show a lousy 6 out of 10. Book it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you want to keep up on the fallout from this show, head over to my TikTok where I'm going to be posting reactions, news, and a bunch of stuff daily for you to get your wrestling fill, so make sure you head over there. Also head over to my Reddit page, where if you guys fill that Reddit page up enough, I'm going to do a full YouTube video reacting to everything in that Reddit page. So if you want to be in a video, head over there, link in the description. Also check out the BTB channel, link below, where I do vlogs and crazy stuff with my friends. And don't forget to like and subscribe on this video. We're trying to keep this channel rolling. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm super fucking nasally, super sick still, but we're grinding through it. We're going to get this done. I'm just really excited to see what happens after this show. But thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.